government side says that farmers' interests have been secured, and this is juvenile drama by Rahul Gandhi. It's our lead debate tonight. Home Ministry issued new rules on Vande Mataram, national song to be played before the national anthem, standing tree, still exempted, but the opposition says it's a government stunt ahead of the Bengal elections. Whistle ban in Chepauk sparks political row between the DMK and Vijay's TVK. Tamil Nadu Cricket Association issues new guidelines prohibiting whistles inside the Chepauk Cricket Stadium. TVK accuses the DMK of deliberately targeting their party symbol. And a familiar twist in the Kanpur Lamborghini crash tale. Now the driver has emerged out of nowhere after 3 days saying, "I did it." Even the complainant has changed his tune. Money talks in Kanpur clearly. The countdown has begun with hours to go before the Bangladesh election. A pivotal democratic test for the country after the 2024 meltdown. The first national election in the country since the bloody student revolution toppled former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's 15 years of iron-fisted rule. Bangladeshis are set to cast the ballot tomorrow. India obviously is watching very closely. The biggest lead story tonight on India Matters is Rahul Gandhi in Parliament today shaking a fist at the government and saying, with this trade deal negotiated with Donald Trump, India is now under a chokehold and Bharat Mata has been sold. We're going to put that to a fact check. Is that really true? Is this a serious issue that has been squandered away with silly theatrics? Or is Rahul Gandhi asking the right questions? That's story number one. And at 8:30 p.m., we show you how, after a humiliating performance in the BMC elections, Raj Thakere's MNS is back to its old ways. They've been caught on camera slapping, intimidating, defenseless coaching staff in Nashik. The man you see on your screen slapping people there in a mob will face my questions at 8:30. Let's get started with the lead story tonight on India Matters.
We have a commitment to them. We are going to add $100 billion a year to the airport, and no commitment to us. How can you even come to this house and talk this type of nonsense?
You say nonsense.
Nonsense is not an appropriate word.
Don't make it abusive.
You have sold our mother, Bharat Mata. You have no shame.
आज तक कोई माई के लाल पैदा नहीं हुआ जो भारत को सेव कर सकता है, कोई खरीद सकता है, नहीं हो सकता है.
I'd also like to ask Mr. Hardeep Puri, who introduced him
Mr. Chair,
to Epstein.
Mr. Rahul, no.
Don't make wild allegations.
ये सदन नियमों से चलेगा और आप इस तरीके से आरोप नहीं लगा सकते सरकार.
The Congress today is celebrating what it believes was a maverick, brave performance by Rahul Gandhi, leader of the opposition in Parliament, largely centered around the allegation that Prime Minister Modi has sold out India to Donald Trump in the recently announced trade deal. Unfortunately, today in Parliament, the country was treated to a performance that was very high on theatrics, as you just saw, but dangerously low on the arithmetic of the 21st century. And I'll explain how. The leader of the opposition, a martial arts master himself, attempted to land what he thought was a knockout blow on the India-US interim trade deal. He used words like chokehold, wholesale surrender, and even the ultimate rhetorical flourish, claiming that the government has sold Bharat Mata to Trump. But beneath the high-octane drama, a closer, sober scrutiny shows his argument collapses under the weight of its own factual and narrative holes. It is a rebuttal that writes itself. I looked at just a few of the claims that were made by Rahul Gandhi. Now, this is not an exercise in questioning the opposition, but rather to show how an obsession with drama lets the government off the hook and removes space for the real questions on the trade deal that I also will be asking. Rahul Gandhi's central argument today is that we are giving away our data. He calls it our petrol. It's a catchy metaphor, but it's a 2010s argument being applied to a 2026 reality. In the era of generative AI, data is not oil, it is electricity. If you keep it in a silo, the lights go out. It's as simple as that. Second, Rahul Gandhi argued that by easing data localization, India has given away its sovereignty. The fact, without the seamless flow of data agreed upon in this deal, Indian startups would be cut off from the global GPU clusters and LLM backbones they need to actually be able to scale. You don't build a digital superpower by building a digital prison. You build it by being the essential node in the global network while crafting your sovereignty guardrails. Third, Rahul Gandhi claimed that Indian tariffs have exploded to 18%. Now let's look at the actual numbers that he has ignored conveniently, because before this deal, our exporters were facing a wall of up to 50% tariffs in the United States thanks to the retaliatory Russian oil levy and reciprocal duties. By negotiating this down to 18%, the government literally refused to buckle and ended up securing a massive competitive advantage. At 18%, India now undercuts Vietnam, Bangladesh and China. To call a 32 percentage point reduction a surrender isn't just political rhetoric, but just a failure of basic subtraction. Because the most striking hole in his narrative is the personal contradiction. This is a leader who travels the world, speaks at foreign universities and laments to global audiences that foreign powers aren't noticing India's supposed democratic collapse. He invites global scrutiny when it suits his politics, yet today he betrayed an old-fashioned 1970s style protectionism that would make the license quota permit Raj rather proud. He wants the world to interfere in our politics, but he wants to isolate our economy. He wants to be a globalist in London, but a Luddite in the Lok Sabha. The leader of the opposition claims that an India bloc government would have told President Trump to treat India as an equal, not as a servant. Well, it sounds good on a teleprompter, but real-world equality isn't demanded, it is earned. And India has more than earned its deal with Trump by refusing to bend to nearly a year of withering turbulence, taunts and tantrums by a so-called strategic ally. Every deal has a give and take. To back several assertions in its final trade statement, NDTV has reported them. By securing a deal that seems to possibly swap out discounted Russian crude for a $500 billion intent on a strategic energy and tech partnership, the Indian government makes India too big to fail for the American economy in some eyes. We aren't servants at the table. In many ways, we become more of the anchor of the new Indo-Pacific supply chain. Now, there's a distance to go before we actually achieve many of those things. And believe me, there are very, very hard questions to ask the government on the trade deal in terms of clarity, in terms of coordination. But let's be clear, Bharat Mata is safe. Ill-tempered politics means Rahul Gandhi thinks he's defending a fortress. In reality, he's just trying to lock the gates while the rest of the world is building a high-speed rail. He tried to land a knockout blow, but when you swing with half-baked facts, you only end up off balance. Now I want to show you some claims that Rahul Gandhi made, and I'll give you some factual positions on each of them. And this is very important, viewer, because this is, after all, the leader of the opposition. Rahul's claim number one, that India has surrendered its energy security. The fact, India has prioritized its domestic interests in 2022 and onwards, which means that no matter what the White House or Trump says about India not buying any more Russian oil, the Indian government, the MEA, other agencies have been consistent in saying that market prices and Indian persons' interests will be the guiding principle. Russian crude imports rose from 0.1 million BPD to 2 million BPD. Energy policy driven by strategic autonomy. There's been no change on that. Number two, on tariffs on India. Rahul's claim tariffs have gone up from 3% to 18%. Fact, 18% tariff is part of the interim deal. 45% exports likely at low or zero tariffs. Then there is the very emotive $500 billion investment or exports claim or imports claim for India. The claim, India is obligated to buy $500 billion worth of US goods. Fact, it's based on an outdated document. India intends, is not legally bound. It's intent. This is language that is very often used in interim frameworks of this kind. Then there is data localization. Rahul Gandhi has claimed data of 1.4 billion Indians is being sold to America. The fact, the budget provides tax breaks for data centers till 2047. More data centers in India means data stored right here in India. So where is the question of selling data to the outside? Future vision of the budget. Rahul Gandhi claims the budget has no plan to secure supply chains. The fact is, rare earth strategies included, a new semiconductor mission across the value chain has been unveiled, critical mineral corridors in Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, virtually every part of the country are now a reality. They are in progress. There is a journey left for them to achieve what they have to, but they are in progress. Then we come to digital services tax. Rahul claims India will remove its digital services tax. Fact, claim based on an outdated US fact sheet once again. Remember, it's evolving from what Trump said to what the White House has said to what officials of the White House are now saying. Things are factually evolving. The agreement states new digital rules will be negotiated. No final decision on the removal of digital services tax. So this is just a small list of the claims that have been made by Rahul Gandhi, which have very easily refutable facts that I've just put before you. And I promise you, before the end of this show, I will list out for you what the real questions that need to be asked of the government on the trade deal are, and why the theatrics today in Parliament has removed the space for those legitimate questions. Welcome to all of my guests tonight. Sanju Verma, National Spokesperson of the BJP. Karuna Gopal, Distinguished Fellow, India Foundation and Policy in Charge of the BJP. Sanjay Jha is a political analyst. He speaks in favor of the Congress Party. Tehseen Poonawalla is also a political analyst and supports the Congress Party. Welcome to you all. Sanju, I'd like to start with you. High-octane, emotive claims made in Parliament today. I have listed some of the more factual things that were mentioned because I want to lay out a framework that is more, based on some of the sober things that were said rather than the emotive mentions. But I do want to start with this because that is the trending word now. Bharat Mata has been sold, says Rahul Gandhi, pointing directly at your government. How do you respond?
First and foremost, Shiv, let me tell Rahul Gandhi and the Darbari ecosystem. Rahul Gandhi gave examples of martial arts, how there's a choke and a stranglehold. I want to tell Rahul Gandhi, in boxing, there is something called a knockout punch. The Janta of Bharat has given a knockout punch to Rahul Gandhi and Darbaris in Lok Sabha 2014, 2019 and 2024. But he still refuses to wake up and smell the coffee. Let me now address the moot point at hand. The India-US trade deal, which is currently in the nature of an interim agreement, and we are working towards a BTA, a bilateral trade agreement. Beyond the semantics, let's not forget one very crucial thing. Point number one, the overall general tariff is 18%. Point number two, the weighted average tariff for India is much lower at 14.6%. Point number three, the reciprocal tariff on a whole host of goods and services for India is 0. Point number four, and very importantly at that, there has been a fine-tuning, and under that fine-tuning, the United States of America has removed the word agriculture, the US has removed the word pulses, and the US has removed the word that it is mandatory for India to import $500 billion worth of goods and services from US. It simply says that is India's intent.
Yeah.
India is not committed to doing it. But Shiv, very quickly, I will just say this. You look at Rahul Gandhi. What has the Modi government done in the past few years? India-Mauritius FTA, India-Singapore FTA, India-New Zealand FTA, India-UK FTA, European Union FTA, which covers 24% of the world, 1/3 of global trade and 25% of global GDP. What did Rahul Gandhi have to say when we did all these iconic FTAs with very large economies? He said, Narendra Modi ne to Bharat bech diya. So this is a man, as they say, a man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still.
Okay.
And Rahul Gandhi is willfully ignorant, very deviously anti-national, and in his hatred, in his visceral hatred for Narendra Modi, he has no qualms in taking an anti-Bharat stand, and his language today on the floor of the parliament was bordering on thuggery and hooliganism, not befitting leader of the opposition.
Okay.
So Rahul Gandhi, अब भी देर नहीं हुई है, संभल जाइए, otherwise 2029 तो छोड़िए, even in 2034 you will be seen sitting in the opposition benches whining and crying and howling your heart out.
Okay. Tehseen, your response. The BJP says low on facts, high on theatrics, and bordering on the anti-national in trying to play down or show down what the Prime Minister has negotiated with President Trump. Tehseen, to you.
Shiv, thank you so much once again for having me on your show. Look, where the government does deserve credit, be it the Indo-EU FTA, the India-New Zealand FTA, Mauritius, we've given the government credit. The Prime Minister deserves credit. For resolving this logjam with the US, the Prime Minister deserves credit. There is no doubt about it. And that's what the leader of opposition said. He says he trusts the Prime Minister to do the right things. But there are some pertinent questions. Let me first go to energy security before I come to the trade issue. The fact of the matter is, in a cleverly worded Babudam statement, or we will diversify our portfolio and get what is required for energy security. The fact of the matter is, last year when we bought we bought oil from Russia, and you rightly said 2 billion barrels per day, which has now come down by over 60%. The oil was priced at $55 per barrel. Today, Russian oil is available at 53, whereas the international market is at 65. Crude from US or Venezuela Venezuela particularly is more hard to refine and is a longer transportation cost. So my energy security today, with Russian oil discounted further from last year, is buying from Russia. I believe my Prime Minister is trying to do the good thing. But every time your fraternity is asked the Honorable Trade Minister what has happened, he said, speak to the Foreign Affairs Minister. The Foreign Affairs Minister says, speak to the Oil Minister. The Oil Minister says, speak to the Trade Minister. And this merry-go-round in the circus needs to end, and somebody needs to give us answers.
Okay.
Even if we've decided we don't want to get so much Russian oil, that's fine. We are citizens and partners in the country. Be honest with us and be upfront with us. We understand the world's changed.
Okay.
But you can talk to us as equals. Don't talk to us in a patronizing way. Ultimately,
let me get Sanju to clarify on that. Sanju, is there a sharp, well-defined position on the energy bit? Let's put the emotions aside right now and talk facts, because I did promise that we're going to ask some questions as well. On the energy and the buying of Russian oil issue, we must all agree there is still a lack of clarity on what exactly India has agreed to. How would you respond to what Tehseen says?
Shiv, I always say that the best way to judge an individual, and even a government for that matter, is to see their track record. Do you remember in 2022, the Biden administration was trying to arm twist the Modi government into not buying Russian crude? And what happened? We were buying 2 million barrels a day, from 0.2 million barrels a day after the so-called soft threat from Joe Biden's dispensation in 2022. And my limited point is this, that the Modi government, even in 2018, the whole world and its uncle said, please don't buy the S-400 from Russia. We went ahead and closed that deal. The entire Darbari ecosystem told us, don't buy Rafale. Thank God we did not listen to them, because the Rafale did a stellar job in Operation Sindoor.
Yeah.
In fact, we placed an order to buy 36 more Rafale jets for a cost of more than 69,000 crores. So the limited point here is, the Modi government is guided by one mantra: nation first, India first, Indians first. And I'll tell you about crude, which is the world's largest refinery. It is owned by Reliance. It is at Jamnagar. And Jamnagar refinery has the wherewithal to process both heavy crude and light crude. Process crude with high sulfuric content, process crude even with low sulfuric content. So please don't speak on subjects about which you have no knowledge. Do we buy Venezuelan crude already? Yes, we do.
May I make a
It's
point?
not as if buying Venezuelan crude is something that we have been alien to. But very quickly, just one thing. Shiv, just 10 seconds. I'm tired of the entire Darbari ecosystem, and I'm a trade economist. I've done my public policy economics from Oxford. So let me tell you a thing or two. Shiv, let's not forget, the Darbaris tell you, oh my God, after this trade deal, our trade deficit will go up. Anybody who has basic understanding of economics will tell you trade deficit in isolation means nothing.
Okay.
The only relevant parameter is current account deficit. And do you know something? Under Congress in 2012, the current account deficit was 6.9% of GDP. Today it is only 0.6% of GDP. Modi government has done a stellar job in terms of managing our capital flows.
Shiv, may I make a point, please?
Yeah. Quickly, Sanju, you've put a big smile
I
for
like
some
my
reason
two
on
worthy.
Tehseen's face. Tehseen, quickly, then I want to bring in Sanjay and Karuna who are waiting.
My two worthy co-panelists to come in. But Shiv, the question to Sanju was very simple on the energy security. She went all around, including on current account deficit. She hasn't come to the specific point. Look, Shiv, I just want to fact check Sanju on one point. It was actually the Biden administration which publicly nudged the current government to buy Russian oil to keep oil prices under control. Russian oil is... Sanju, I never intervened. Please allow me. This is NDTV. Shiv,
Sanju, let him finish. I'll give you time. We have time.
Shiv, this is not fair. Yeah. And Shiv, I request you to please fact check me on what I'm saying. I request you to... Sanju, please. Then don't do this. I request you to fact check me.
I know what I'm saying. Nobody needs
Shiv,
to
please.
Sanju, let him finish. I'll come back to you. You can have your say after he finishes. No crosstalk. I'll come back to you.
I would like the viewers of NDTV and you to fact check me.
Yeah.
The Biden administration is on record publicly nudging India to buy Russian oil, crude, so that the prices can be kept under control. This is a fact that we cannot deny. Biden never put pressure on Prime Minister Modi. In fact, wanted Prime Minister Modi to buy. That also is part of the larger deal where we said we'll reduce our Iran imports, finally, which we are paying for in rupees, and we'll pick it up from Russia. I do give the credit to the Prime Minister, but that is the fact. Let me come to another issue that Sanju ji brought. Sanju ji, we again understand that the world has changed. But at a time from 3% to 50% to 18% that's been reduced, the point that the Honorable Leader of Opposition was making was on textiles, where both India and Bangladesh are importing US cotton. And for importing US cotton, Bangladesh textiles gets 0% reciprocal tariff, whereas we get 18%, therefore putting us at a disadvantage. You may explain it.
I have to give the others a chance also. Sanju, I'll come back to you.
Give me 30 seconds. Shiv, give me 30 seconds.
20
please.
seconds, Sanju. You have to be fair. Okay, quickly. Quick rebut. Otherwise, it will become only between both of you, and that's not fair at all. Yes,
we have no plans of no confidence against Shiv.
Can I please come in, Shiv?
No.
Okay. I stick to my facts. The Biden administration, armed twisted, the Modi government failed to do so. Prime Minister Modi spoke to his Saudi counterpart, and OPEC decided to lower prices because OPEC is Shiv. I just want to say one thing very quickly. The United States of America produces long staple cotton. India produces short staple cotton meant for daily wear. The US cotton is meant for premium clothing as it is long staple. So there is no competition. Don't compare with watermelons.
Okay, so Sanju is saying that is also a false claim that is being made. Karuna, I want to quickly come to you now. Let's expand this a little bit more. Beyond energy and cotton now. Is there any weight, I know this is very difficult to put party politics aside, but is there any weight to the many claims and questions that Rahul Gandhi is asking? He is leader of the opposition and he's asking a list of questions here. Forget about the theatrics and the drama, the legitimate substantive points made. Is there any weight to them, or is the BJP rejecting them in all?
No weight at all, Shiv. He spoke about data, he spoke about selling the country, he spoke about trade deals. Now, that made me laugh quite a bit, because now I'm going to talk about two data points, because he says data. Let me just refresh his memory. He perhaps needs to be schooled on the past and certain data. Now, take the years between 2004 and 2014 when UPA was in power. What was India's GDP? We were 37% of China's GDP. And today we are 19% of China's GDP. Now, what happened there? During UPA's time, there was a trade pact between China and India, and we were to the tune of, maybe when we started out in 2004, we were to the tune of $12 billion. Then UPA announced something. They said that we are going to have a great trade deal, and they put something called a trade target and brought it to $20 billion. And the trade target was achieved. But in whose favor? In China's favor. And that was later increased to $40 billion. And they announced to Indians saying that we have achieved the targets very well, and let's enhance it more to $60 billion. So he has no moral right to talk about trade deals when actually they did something so phenomenally bad that today India has a trade deficit with China, and perhaps the thing was done like that. The second data point, and perhaps again he needs to be educated on is, again during that time, we were a part of a BRIC bloc, right? Brazil, India, Russia, China. I remember very categorically they were saying India was growing at 185%, 185%. It's like fooling people. Today he said we are being fooled, but they fooled the country.
Okay.
185% he said. Russia was growing at 230%. And
Sanjay is
China
looking
was
very
growing at
Sanjay is looking very amused, Karuna. I'm going to get him to just make a very quick interjection so you can make more points after that.
Hear me out, totally. See, imagine 185%, 230%.
No, let her finish. Let her finish.
Growth was Brazil. You don't have to touch your head, Sanjay ji. I know what I'm talking about. I can give you the data sources. We've done enough research on the topic. Up to you.
Okay.
China grew by 440%.
Sanjay.
No right to talk about it.
The sum and substance of that is, who is Rahul Gandhi to lecture us about bad trade deals, basically?
Absolutely.
The Shiv is 8:22 on your program.
My apologies, Sanjay. My apologies.
No, it's all right. I have no problem with me coming last on a program in economics, which happens to be my subject as well. I don't have any ego issues. I'm sure you are aware of that.
Yeah.
My only request to you will be, and I will take less time than any of the speakers before.
No interruptions.
I will speak in bullet points, but I don't have to be interrupted. Otherwise, I've never done it before, but I can always create history by stepping out of the program. Point number one, Narendra Modi is the weakest prime minister in India's history. Point number two, Rahul Gandhi said actually in parliament what Narendra Modi should have said. Donald Trump talked to us as equals, not as servants. Point number three, a point that we should mention, you forgot to mention it in your introduction. India's farming community will be so vulnerable. You will watch it in the days to come. Already the protests are lined up and they're going to start over the next coming few days. Point number four, what is reciprocal tariff? India is going to actually pay 18% tariff. You can calculate the weighted average at 4 or 8%, whatever you like. The truth is we have publicly stated 0% tariff on American goods, which was on an average over 30%. Worse, there are going to be no quotas, no non-trade barriers, no non-tariff barriers, which is, frankly speaking, Rahul Gandhi is right, it's a Narendra surrender. You made a point on US 500 billion as an intent. Let me tell you something, Shiv.
Yeah.
That is a saving grace. These are basically semantics because they would not like to humiliate the government so openly. But everybody knows that if India has committed publicly in an agreement with an intent to buy, Donald Trump is there for the next 3 years.
Okay.
He's going to watch how much of that 500 have you intended and actually used in the first year. And we will actually end up from being trade surplus with America into a trade deficit.
Okay.
Worse, Shiv, if India is going to pay in dollars for American goods, your rupee is going to depreciate. And if your rupee depreciates, trust me, Indian economy in imports and overall will be in serious trouble because you'll be importing higher inflation. My last point, very important, the ultimate national humiliation, the ultimate. Donald Trump's establishment will monitor how we are doing on Russian oil. So if they find any deviation, like a school child will get a spanking, India will get the tariffs back. And the lady who was speaking before, which is why I was laughing, she talked about China's trade deficit exceeding 100 billion. You have been in government over the last 10 years. How can you shamelessly lie on TV? China is attacking us. China is on the side of Pakistan and you're doing more trade with China.
Sanjay says that the chokehold metaphor used by Rahul Gandhi essentially is absolutely correct. Respond.
Shiv, now, like he did not want to be interjected, I request the same courtesy. First and foremost, let me say one thing very clearly. Narendra Modi is the world's most popular leader, one of the world's most popular global statesmen, and I don't need a suspended Congress Charan Chumbak to give certificates to Narendra Modi on his integrity. Apna certificate suspended variety अपने पास रखिए. But
Shiv,
now
you
let
should
me
stop
come
her
to the
from
fact.
making personal comments.
Can I please come in, Shiv?
Stop her
If
from
you
making
abuse the
personal
Prime Minister, I will
comments.
show you the mirror.
Because
No, I understand, but
Can
no
I
personal
please-
attacks,
Disgrace to
please,
national
please.
television.
Shiv,
No,
no,
no
you
personal
did not
attacks.
allow me
Disgrace
to
to
interject
national
him. Can I
television.
speak now?
I
Shiv,
actually
can
don't
I-
do programs with her, so I don't know
No,
how
no,
she-
no
yes,
personal
good for
attacks.
you.
It's
I
a
don't
request
do
to all of you.
programs
All of you are my
Shiv.
friends. Please, no personal attacks.
Shiv,
Please,
Can I now
subscribe.
finish?
I have given
Shiv,
instructions to
I did
all
not
guest
interject.
relations not to do a program with her.
Sanjay,
I don't know how she-
Sanjay, my
Good for you.
request. I'm calming
I don't know
everyone
why
down.
she's on the
I'm
program.
calm.
She's an
No, I
embarrassment.
understand that. I understand that. You're right.
Shiv, can I finish?
Yes, please finish. No personal attacks, Sanju. Please, request to all of you.
Unfair
Yes.
on the part of
Yes.
your guest relations to
Shiv,
call
and
me on the program.
let me say one thing, Shiv, now please. If you don't want to debate with me, I'm not losing out on anything.
Topic, Sanju. Topic.
Yeah, so please don't sit here and act like hoity.
Topic.
Have some shame. Have some shame.
Topic,
I want to
please.
just say this one. I just want to say one thing very quickly. It will not take me even more than 90 seconds. India replaced the United Kingdom to become the world's 5th largest economy in 2023. India replaced Japan to become the world's 4th largest economy in 2026. India is slated to replace Germany as the world's 3rd largest economy in 2027. And let me tell you one more thing. The world's 2nd largest steel producer, India. The world's 2nd largest energy producer, India. The world's 2nd largest cement producer, India. The world's 5th largest stock market in terms of market capitalization, India. The world's 2nd largest smartphone market, India. The world's 4th largest forex reserves at more than $724 billion, a country called India. The world's 7th largest gold reserve, a country called India.
Okay.
But most importantly, just last point, there is only one country in the world which is growing at 7% plus and has an inflation of just 1.3%. That country is India, thanks to Narendra Modi. So Sanjay Jha can start crying on national TV. I couldn't care.
Okay. Nothing personal. Let's stay on topic. Sanjay, yes, because she took your name. You can respond to that. Karuna and Tehsin, I will be ending with you. Don't worry. Yes.
Yeah.
Sanjay.
I mean, I can understand the pain and the anguish. India is the lowest in per capita income in G20 countries. And we should, as a society, be worried about per capita income, not just the high net worth and the crony capitalist. Please do not interrupt me, madam.
Sanju, let him finish. Sanju,
Because you are a liar.
uninterrupted time. Come on.
Yeah,
Please,
yeah.
my request to all. Please. No.
We are the
don't want to
worst.
interrupt
We are
you.
at the bottom. We are the bottom on environmental
I
performance.
will not allow you to abuse the Prime Minister and get away with it.
No. Sanju,
I will not allow you to abuse the
Sanju,
Prime
hold.
Minister and
Just
get away with
hold. Just pause. Let him finish. If there's time, I will give you another
How
rebuttal.
dare he abuse the Prime Minister on your show?
Let him-
How dare he abuse the Prime Minister on your show?
No. I will give you a chance to rebut him. I will give you a chance to rebut him. I'm an anchor who gives everyone time, ma'am. Let him finish.
How
I will
dare
give you
this
time.
suspended variety abuse the Prime Minister on your show?
Okay, let him finish.
I am not one of those spokespersons who will sit silently and listen to your balder dash.
Okay.
You get that?
Okay. Let him
I will
finish.
not listen to your balder dash.
Okay. No abusive words for anyone. Sanjay, finish your point. Substantive, please.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we just
Substantive.
get derailed.
Under Narendra Modi, India has the lowest per capita income amongst G20 countries. India is amongst the worst in the Human Development Index. India is amongst the worst in Inequality Index. India is among the worst in Gender Parity Index. India is amongst the worst in Environmental Index. And madam, this is not abuse. This is called facts. Get used to it, madam. Get used to it. And there is more.
I have to be
India is amongst the most corrupt countries in the world. India is amongst the worst countries in corruption in the world.
Fragile five.
I have to be fair to my other guests today. Okay. Sanju and Sanjay, you've gone at it. Please, I have only 2.5 minutes left, so let me give it to Karuna and Tehsin. Karuna, do you want to add to anything about this exchange? I mean, we've zoomed out to all the macro issues. I wanted to keep it very specific as far as the trade deal was concerned. What next? What do you want to add to what you've just heard?
See, trade deals. Anyway, let me just answer. He's talking about Congress and Congress government when it inherited or got India. We were in 6th position, and by the time it was given to Modi, we were in 11th position. See the great amount of performance. So whatever he said is like ridiculously
Another
funny, I can say. Anyway, so trade deals, as you know, Shivarur, are like walking the tightrope, not just walking the tightrope, but spinning wheels and juggling balls, as we say. I saw the negotiations. Negotiations are not easy. I was a part of COP21, and I had a ringside view of how we negotiate emissions in spite of not being the highest per capita emitter, but we were, as a nation, we were emitting quite a bit. But it took a whole lot of breadth, intelligence, brilliance, and negotiation skills to actually ensure that we got what we wanted. So today we are, our International Solar Alliance or whatever is done only because of our brilliance and thought process. So the same thing is going to happen here. We have a good path ahead. We will negotiate. We are brilliant. We will play the
So India will never be sold out, as Kiran Rijiju said. No Baikelal can sell out the country. Tehseen, final word. If there's time, I'll get 10-second responses from the others. Tehseen, quickly.
Nobody will sell out India. I firmly believe it. But the benchmark is late Manmohan Singh ji's nuclear deal. The 123 agreement, Shiv, we were not a signatory to the NSG, yet an exception was made for India. When the whole world was asked not to buy Iranian oil, India stood its gun and bought oil in Indian rupees. And that is the benchmark we hold dear. And we expect the BJP to, instead of being abusive or saying allegations can't be made against the Prime Minister, which, by the way, does not hold true in Parliament, because under Rule 352, it's only against the President, Vice President, Supreme Court judges, CAG and EC that you can't make allegations. The BJP tends to get very sensitive when we ask questions about the Prime Minister. And on this show, Shiv, I compliment you for being a speaker against whom none four of us are bringing a no confidence motion and balancing the debate. I'll give my time to Sanju.
In my entire time debating this week, no confidence motions have almost been moved against me, but you all know that I'm very fair. 20 seconds, Sanju, because your hand is raised.
Thank you. Shiv, I just have this to say. I don't like abusing, but if you abuse the Prime Minister as BJP's national spokesperson, I will show you the mirror. Point number 2. Now, Tehseen, please, very quickly.
Yeah, but
just to everybody who's comparing India and Bangladesh, and Rahul Gandhi did that. Bangladesh's economy is $450 billion. Ours is $4.34 trillion. We are 9.6 times bigger than them. Bangladesh's annual exports are $57 billion. Our annual exports are $856 billion.
Completely out of time.
15 times bigger than them. 15 times bigger than Bangladesh. Stop comparing apples with watermelons.
I'm out of time. Thank you very much to all of you. Only a couple of days left in Parliament. Let's see if there's going to be more substantive discussion and debate in the House. Sanju, Karuna, Sanjay and Tehseen, thank you very much for joining me. My apologies if I didn't give some people more time than the others. That's the nature of the debate. You know I'm always very fair with all my guests. Thank you for your time here on India Matters tonight. Let's get straight to our second story on India Matters. This is a story coming in from Nashik in Maharashtra, and I advise viewer discretion because these visuals may trigger you, they may cause you distress. But who else are these but Maharashtra Navnirman Sena goons assaulting staff at a physics wala coaching center in Nashik in Maharashtra? The people you see on your screen are MNS workers storming into a physics wala center in Nashik after students alleged that the staff insulted certain Marathi-speaking students by calling them rustic and mannerless. MNS workers slapped the staff, as you can see, created a ruckus, intimidated them in a criminal manner, and warned the management against disrespecting Marathi and demanded Marathi-speaking teachers be hired and put in place within 8 days or face even stronger action. What the stronger action is, I don't know. But they've just slapped this young man here repeatedly. 5 thugs of the Maharashtra Navnirman Sena, the biggest cowards of this country, Raj Thakre's thugs, are at it again, viewer, and they have been caught on NDTV's cameras. This incident has exposed once again the Mahakayar Sena, as I call it, in Maharashtra. They've just been humiliated and shown their place in the BMC elections, managed to lose 1 seat compared to their last tally, and they are back to the only kind of politics they know best, which is Thappad Rajniti, and that's what is on display here once again.
आज फिजिक्स वाला विद्यापीठ या क्लासमध्ये आम्ही विद्यार्थ्यांनी धडक मारली. या इथल्या सगळे मराठी विद्यार्थ्यांचे आमच्या राजगड कार्यालयात कंप्लेंट आले होते 2 दिवसापूर्वी की ते सगळे परप्रांतीय शिक्षक आहेत, एकही मराठी शिक्षक या क्लासमध्ये अवेलेबल नाहीये. तर आमची मागणी एवढीच होती की इथले सगळे जे मराठी मुलं आहेत यांना शिकवण्यासाठी मराठी शिक्षक काय यांना भेटत नाही का? सर्व परप्रांतीय, एक पण मराठी शिक्षक इथे अवेलेबल नाही. तर त्यांना विनंती करण्यासाठी आज आम्ही आलो होतो. पुढच्या 8 दिवसात यांनी जर का यांचा स्टाफ बदलला नाही तर आम्ही हा क्लास करून टाकू अशी त्यांना आज आम्ही वॉर्निंग दिली.
And NDTV's Radhika Ramaswamy is live with me from Mumbai for a quick update. Radhika, has the police taken cognizance of any complaint been filed by this Physics Wala Center? This is criminal intimidation and use of violence.
Absolutely no FIR yet. We'll have to see what sort of action will be taken now that we have the proof on video cameras. But we've seen these incidents in the past as well. Multiple FIRs had been registered in the past when we saw MNs really taking law into their hands. But no concrete action really is taken post that. In this case too, this time happening in Physics Wala Education Center in Nasik, where a bunch of MNs goons really barged into that place and thrashed the staff members, saying that the students had complained to them that the staff members were harassing them and disrespecting them because they were Marathis. They also gave an ultimatum that within 8 days, the staffers should be Marathi speaking. And now we'll have to see what sort of action will be taken. But at this point, we know that state government continues to condemn these acts, but no concrete action has been taken against them so far. They've done it with shopkeepers, they've done it with rickshawalas, they've done it with bank staffers, and now an education center also being targeted in the name of language.
Radhika, thanks very much. It's very telling that no FIR has been filed. Obviously, the poor staffers at this Physics Wala Center are probably too scared to provoke the situation more. They are just probably hoping that this incident just blows over and they can just simply get back to work. But I want our viewers to look very closely at these pictures. Radhika, thank you very much. Because the cowardice, the absolute spineless cowardice of the thuggish MNS belonging to a failed politician like Raj Thackeray is on full display and captured in these images. They have failed in BMC polls, they have failed in assembly polls, they have failed in every single election they have ever fought. The Marathi Manus has completely rejected the MNS. The MNS has no power except the power for 8 fat guys to get together and start slapping a defenseless single individual, because that is what these people think bravery and courage actually looks like. Shivaji would be ashamed of such people. Any right-thinking Marathi individual should be ashamed of such people. And that's why I'm going to ask someone from the ruling party tonight. Susiben Shah is national spokesperson of the Shiv Sena, which is one of the ruling parties in Maharashtra right now. Susiben, this is a very familiar image that we are seeing on our TV screens once again. Physics Wala Center. Some allegation gets made that someone has insulted Marathi people. Look at these thugs going and slapping people like this in a cosmopolitan state like Maharashtra. Is your government going to do anything? No FIR has been filed because these poor people are probably, wetting their pants. They're so scared.
Good evening, Q Shivarur, and it's always a pleasure to be on your show.
And to you.
I would just like to tell you this, that it should be heard very loud and clear by everyone, that Shiv Sena stands for Marathi Asmita, Marathi pride, and no right-thinking person, whether any part of India can ill afford to insult the language or insult the Marathi-speaking people, or in that matters even Maharashtrians. But to behave in the manner that it has been just done is unacceptable. Yes, you have grievances, but there are constitutional and legal means available, and we condemn such acts. Because Maharashtra is an educational and an industrial hub. We can ill afford such action. FIR, if required, action in the manner fitting in the 4 corners of law will be taken. In the past also.
But Susiben, I have a problem with this. Great amount of respect for you, but I have a problem with your words. You're saying you condemn this. Forget, condemnation is cheap. What action are you going to take against these guys? Lalit Wagh was supposed to be on my show. The moment he heard that Shiv Arur sawal puchne wala hai, he ducked and he ran. He's not going to appear on the show. I was supposed to get him live 10 seconds ago. My producers told me in my ear that he's not going to join because he realized that Shiv Arur is the same NDTV journalist who absolutely hauled the MNS over the coals last year and embarrassed and humiliated them on live television last year. So they have ducked for cover and ran away. But I'm asking you a question. Are you going to take any slow motor action against these guys?
We are not running away. And we stand firmly by the Marathi language and the Marathi people and the Marathi culture. That's our Asmita after all. But you see, I will tell you also this in the same breath, Shiv Arur, that it is a institution's rights. It is to which teacher to choose by merit, by their expertise.
Yeah.
But I do believe that the coaching class should have a sensitize the teachers. Maybe required by the student.
No, but that is a wrong message you're sending out, Susiben. You're giving me the politician's answer. You're giving me the politician's answer. These physics wala people are taxpayers in your state, ma'am. They are normal citizens of the state. Do they have less rights than Marathi people?
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. So you must understand, when teaching in Nashik, when teaching in Maharashtra, where Marathi is the most spoken language, then it is also upon the coaching class to have, if required, sensitize the teachers. Maybe have a bilingual assistance. But to insist on only Marathi speaking teachers would be wrong. It falls in the realm of expertise of the
But Madam Susiben, I know you to be a very reasonable person. You have been, a chairperson in the Child Rights Commission, the Women's Commission. You have held responsibilities of considerable power in the Maharashtra administration. When people and the public are listening to you, the message that will go out to them is, yes, we condemn this, but people should be sensitive. And if you are not sensitive, the subtext, I'm not saying you are saying this. I know you are not saying it. But the subtext, Susiben, is that if you mess around, you run the risk of getting slapped by these guys. You are almost justifying it.
We follow the rule of law. We follow the rule of law. No person in Maharashtra has the right to take law in its own hands. We are Maharashtrians. We are pride of the Marathi language. We don't run and scoot. I'm here to talk to you and bring confidence in the people of Maharashtra and in India that Marathi is a state which respects education, which is an industrial hub, and therefore interest of all people will be protected.
Susiben, I just want to read out some...
Loud and clear, Shiv Arur. But
first of all,
filed immediately.
I want to be very clear. I admire and appreciate you taking my questions today. That is not the point at all. I know you to be a person who faces the facts and takes the questions from the media. And I admire that. Let's keep that aside. But I want to read out some very worrying statistics. Since I joined NDTV, madam, in April last year, we have reported 9 separate occasions when MNS goons have slapped or physically intimidated people, whether it is in Palghar, whether it is in Nashik, whether it is in Mumbai, whether it is elsewhere, Thane, wherever else. 9 occasions we have reported this on live television here on NDTV. And madam, do you know in how many of those cases someone has faced any kind of police action? Can you guess in how many of those cases any kind of police action has been taken against the perpetrators of that violence? Zero. Zero, madam. Zero.
No, see, FIR... No, let us understand this. When FIR is filed, investigation is undertaken. Let us understand this. Investigation is undertaken. Investigation takes time. The charge sheet has to be filed. But a proper investigation is required. Otherwise, your charge sheet will not stand in the court of law. So therefore, the investigation is ongoing. You give us time. People have faith in the people of Maharashtra. People have faith in the Mahayuti.
Are you committing?
We deliver on our promises. We are not a banana republic, nor are we a banana state.
I hope not. I hope not. So my final question to you then.
It takes time.
My final question to you, because my reporters just told me that no FIR has been filed because these people are too scared. I am asking you as a member of the ruling dispensation, will your administration reach out and try and bring justice and find out what happened? Because these people are too scared to do anything. They don't want any more trouble. But a crime has been committed.
It will be investigated. the coaching
You're
people
giving your commitment.
spoken to, and what is right will be done. Let me assure you that.
Okay, I'm going to hold you to that, and I know that you are used to that as well, and we will check with you again in 24 hours. Thank you very much, Susie Ben Shah, for being with me here on India Matters. And NDTV is building up to the big AI week here in India's national capital, the Indian government's big AI summit and NDTV's own Ind AI summit that makes Delhi the capital city for a whole week of global artificial intelligence. Well, here in India, Bengaluru-based startup Sarvam AI is drawing global attention with its latest AI models, Sarvam Vision and Bulbul version 3. The company claims its technology has outperformed global giants like Google Gemini and ChatGPT in key optical character recognition benchmarks. If verified, this breakthrough could mark a major moment for India's growing AI ecosystem. What makes Sarvam Vision different? And how does Bulbul version 3 push the boundaries of OCR performance? Here's Ayush Elavadi with this exclusive report.
India's AI story is entering a crucial phase, and Sarvam AI sits right at the center of it. What is this made in India startup all about? Well, let's find out.
Started in 2023 and backed by global investors, the company is also part of the government's India AI mission to build a homegrown foundational AI model. Instead of trying to make the world's biggest AI, Sarvam is focusing on something more practical. Smaller, faster models trained deeply on Indian languages and the way Indians actually speak, often mixing Hindi and English. Its smaller model, Sarvam 1, is trained on a massive amount of Indic language data. On tests designed for Indian languages, it reportedly performs far better than similarly sized global AI models. A larger model, Sarvam M, built on top of Mistral AI technology, claims better performance in Indian language understanding, maths, and coding. The key point is this: these improvements show up strongly in Indian context, not necessarily in general English tests, and that is by design.
Sarvam's advantage becomes tangible when you go beyond text. Let's have a look.
Sarvam is also working on reading Indian documents and forms filled with mixed languages, tables, and messy layouts. Its system is set to perform very well at understanding such documents. In Voice AI, Sarvam offers AI agents that can speak and understand multiple Indian languages and are affordable enough for banks, helplines, and large businesses to use at scale. Sarvam's models are trained on India-focused data and run inside Indian data centers with partners like Yotta Data Services and NVIDIA.
For all of us in tech, that's the real paradigm shift. India is known as this big consumer of tech and AI. So from consuming AI to building AI which is tuned for our reality, India's version of things, I think that's the big shift. Here on Tech 360, we'll be covering this story throughout, and we'll also be reviewing these products to understand what this final AI platform is all about. How does it compare to the ChatGPTs and Geminis of the world, and tell you whether this one comes out on top. Stay tuned to Tech 360 and NDTV.
The cutting edge of AI, the biggest voices, the biggest news breaks on everything you need to know. The front row is every single day right here on NDTV. Thanks so much for watching India Matters. The buck stops here with Padmaja next.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola, India's leading AI smartphone brand. Motorola Signature, India's #1 camera phone. Grab Motorola Signature today.
US, Malaysia.
मेड इन इंडिया क्यों नहीं?
हमारे पास क्या है? मस्टर्ड ऑयल. इट इज आवर फ्लैगशिप ऑयल.
और हमें गर्व है कि 1933 से हम पी मार्क कच्ची घानी मस्टर्ड ऑयल का उत्पादन कर रहे हैं. इस मूल्यवान स्वदेशी प्रोडक्ट को बनाने में हमने खुद को समर्पित किया है पीढ़ियों से.
माँ भी हमेशा पी मार्क मस्टर्ड ऑयल में ही खाना बनाती थी.
कुछ तो बात है इस दिल में.
पी मार्क द मस्टर्ड स्पेशलिस्ट सिंस 1933.
सरसों से सरसों.
आपको शायद पता नहीं होगा, अपार ने INS